Healing channel. In this channel, we focus on mental health and inner healing. So today we want to focus on an issue called parentification, and we'll explore more what parentification is and what are the effects of parentification. Like I said, my name is Hannah Jerry. I have a background in a Master's of Divinity in Pastoral Studies. I have a degree in Sociology and Politics, and I have a certificate in Trauma Counseling. So now let's begin with our topic of the day, parentification. As the name suggests, it means that a child or someone who's much younger is caused or made to carry out parent duties as a young child. And we see this a lot, especially in children who grew up in poverty-stricken homes or even countries. And these children now start being adult at a very young age. And this parentification has its dire effects on a human being. The reason why God created us, all of us, to grow from childhood to adulthood is because there are various and different stages of growth in an adult, in a human being's life by the time you get to adulthood. And all these stages, because God, the planner and the creator of life, knew that you will need to start off from an infant as you come all the way up. And all those stages were stages where that are supposed to grow you, mature you, and for you to learn and experience different things in life. So when a child is parentified or is made to carry out adult duties, what happens to them? Number one, emotionally, they become, because they are not allowed to be children, they don't know how to play. They don't know how to be at ease. They don't know how it is to relate with other children. Because at a young age of even 3, some start even as early as 3 years old, going up. They start, being given adult responsibilities like, going to fetch, firewood, going to look for food for the whole family, going to, even in the mining camps, some of them use these children to go mining. So a child now starts working at the age of 3, and yet this age, they are supposed to be playing, they're supposed to be dependent on the guardian or the parent. They're supposed to feel free, carefree. Such a child is supposed to be carefree. But now such a child is thinking about how to support the family. Such a child is thinking on how to bring food, to put food on the table, and yet they are that age. So they don't know how to play, they don't know how to interact with other children. Number 2, these children also, they get when they grow much older, they get into immature involvement with adults. What does that mean? It means because they have been used to the role of a caregiver, they have been used to taking care of other people. So when they go to look for relationship, they look for people who they can take care of. And these people normally end up being immature adults or people who are into substance abuse. Another thing also is that these people can also get into substance abuse. What happens is, as they are growing older, they realize there's something that they missed when they were growing up. And so because of that, they realize that too late that they didn't play, they didn't do all these things. So because of that conflict within themselves, they easily get into drugs or substance abuse to try and numb that confusion, to try and numb that pain or conflict they are feeling inside of a stage in life they missed. You see, the way God created life, if you miss a stage in life, it will eventually affect you. I want to repeat the diagram I repeated on the other show about the knees of a tree. You see, this is the tree trunk. So every one of them is the number of years the tree is. So if a tree is a year older, there's one ring added to the tree. So all these tree rings are the ones that make up the tree trunk. So all this is now, when you count all these, you can tell the age of a tree with all this. The outer ones being the ones that are older. I mean, yes, and the other ones that are coming up, the younger. So that's what happens to a tree. So all this, there's no tree ring that can live without the other ring, meaning there is no stage in life that you will bypass and still be okay, because you need all these stages of growth. You need yourself as age 1, age 2, age 3, like that. It's a continuum. And so your inner child is still in you. Another thing that these children go through is, much later in life, because they were not allowed to be kids when they were growing up, they will get into irresponsible behavior. This means that they will be irresponsible, they will start, if they never drank at the age of, maybe they were not teenagers, they'll start drinking and be reckless at an early age in life. And these are the people who easily fall into the midlife crisis, because they became too mature so soon. So when they are now mature, they want to start reliving their young life when they are much older. Also, another thing about such kids is that they can get into irresponsible behavior. Let's say, for example, in college they never dated, maybe they just finished college, they married early. Now, when they're married or much later in life, they're looking now to go back to looking for young relationships with young people, because they missed out on that. They want to hang out, even if it's not just a sexual relationship. It can be any relationship, even social relationships. They would want to start relating with young people because they want to feel their youth once again. They want to feel themselves once again. Another thing also is, such people also get easy into irresponsible behaviors like gambling, substance abuse, such things, because they are trying to numb the feeling they are feeling inside of being, missing out on some ages in life. They feel it, their body, their inner self, their inner child is crying out. So they'll try be, irresponsible. So how do you heal from being, from, if you were parentified by your parents or guardian? Number one, you need to reparent yourself. And by reparenting yourself, I mean now start, being aware of the inner child in you. And then being aware of this inner child, reparent yourself. Let's say, for example, if at the age of 2 you needed reassurance, or you needed your parent to tell you it's okay, you can tell that to yourself. You can tell yourself it's okay. You can reparent yourself at 3. Yes, you can reparent yourself again. You can be able to give yourself that back, the parenthood that you lacked. Number two, you can also get into support groups. You can be able to get support groups that are going to help you back, to get back, not just to heal your childhood, and also to just be normal again. Number three, you can also take parenting classes, whereby for every age, some parenting classes have different age groups. So for every age, you can go back and see what you missed out and try to give yourself that. Like, for example, if there's a particular ice cream that you felt you wanted when you were young, you didn't get, you can buy yourself that. You can go take yourself to Disney again, once again. That doesn't mean that you're becoming a child again. No, you're just giving back your childhood, what you never got. You can go to Disney, even with your children, enjoy the Disney. As you're also parenting your children, you can also enjoy the things your children are enjoying, and that way you're also healing from these things. You can play games with your children that you are not allowed to play, and you are also healing from these things. And if you don't have children, you can also even get, maybe a relative's child or anything, take them to the park, play with them. As you're playing with them, as you're doing these activities with them, you are also healing. Your inner child is healing. You can also don't there another thing also I want to emphasize is, take note or be aware of the inner child in you, so that sometimes when you feel the inner child is speaking, you can calm yourself down, or you can speak to your inner child, you can speak to your inner you. Like, let's say you were missing ice cream, and you buy yourself ice cream and say, it's okay, you never got a chance to play, but now you can get a chance to play. So reparent yourself, speak to yourself, soothe yourself, so that you heal from the inside. And more than that, also pray. Prayer changes things. Pray and ask God to restore you, to give you back areas of your life that were taken from you. There's a verse that says in Joel chapter 2 verse 25 that he will restore back the years that were taken away from you. It doesn't just mean years of hardship, but it also means years that you missed out as a child, years that were taken away from you. God can give you back and heal you once again. So I hope this information has been of help to you, but you're also free. One thing that I encourage in this program is, as you hear these topics, go and do more research for yourself. These are just highlights to maybe highlight what could be going on. But go and do more research and see, maybe there are materials out there on YouTube or books that can also be of help to you. So we are glad you watched, and thank you so much for supporting us. Please make sure you like, you can comment, you can subscribe, and also share this program to other people who might also need this information. So our next program, we will focus on trauma. and its effect on the brain. Thank you so much.